Well, welcome back to Cityline. With me is our illustrious Tacoma Little Theatre, and you know how much I love Tacoma Little Theatre. Please join me in welcoming back Mr. Chris Surface. You are still Managing Artistic Director of Tacoma Little Theatre. Welcome back, my friend.
10 years on May 1st.
Oh my gosh, wow. You know, I wish we would have had ping pong balls and like balloons that came out of the ceiling when you said that. But instead, let's go to sock cam.
Oh, sock cam.
Okay, so what do we have on the socks
today? Is Cats in Space.
Cats in Space. All right, I love that.
Got a little homage to the kitty cats.
And so apropos, I mean, it's just perfect. So, and you brought with you this beautiful woman who I've loved to find these different facts about. Trafina Singleton, you portray Kiki right now on the onstage production of Significant Other in Tacoma Little Theatre. Welcome, my dear. This is your first time on the comfy couch.
Yes, it is. I'm happy to be here.
It's your first time on stage at Tacoma Little Theatre.
Yes, it is.
How lucky are we?
Really lucky.
Well, yeah,
really
I turned to Chris and said, how did you find her? And he's like, she just showed up.
Literally.
Yeah, which tells everybody that Tacoma Little Theatre is a theater for everybody. Just show up, just be there. Mr. Chris, let's talk about how Significant Other became a part of this season, and that's how we get to know this beauty.
I was on a trip in April of 2017 to Broadway to see some shows. And Significant Other was that last minute show, Sunday matinee before we went to get on the plane, and I fell in love with it. It was it's a show that touched me personally. I was like, this is a good show. And jokingly, I posted, when I posted my little theater selfie, maybe TLT season 101. I was off a few years.
That's okay.
But we did end up with it on our season. It was supposed to be a show that was in March of 21. It didn't happen, obviously, for some reasons. So I was very excited when we decided to put it back on the schedule. And it's one that I said, you know, I want to direct this one. So it's one that I took on, and I've just had a blast doing it. And it's a great story. So
what was it like bringing together the cast? And tell us about the cast so we know who's who.
We have it's a 7-person show.
Wow.
We have our core of Jordan, who's our lead, who's a 30-something gay man living in New York. And then his 3 girlfriends, Laura, Kiki, and Vanessa, who've kind of been his rock through time. But one by one, they each get married off, and Jordan's left wondering, where am I fitting off in life? This is Nick Fitzgerald playing Jordan, and then Paul Richter, who plays 3 roles. There's also 2 men, Rodman Bullock and Paul Richter, who play all 3. They each play 3 roles: the girlfriends, boyfriends, and fiancés, and the husbands and the boyfriends of Jordan. Sherry O'Hare plays Jordan's grandmother, Helene.
That's Sherry O'Hare?
That's Sherry. That's our test wig.
That's a great disguise, because that does not look like gorgeous Sherry O'Hare.
And there they are at a bachelorette party.
Oh, yes.
It is a great show in the fact that it's a lot about family. It's a lot about friendship. It's funny, but it's sad at the same time sometimes.
Absolutely.
And everybody, I think, can relate to something in that show at some point in their life.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting here going, I have groups of friends like that's happened to. So, Trafinia, what were the auditions and rehearsals like? Because first off, how did you find Tacoma Little Theatre?
Yes, so I'm not from Washington. I'm originally from New York, and I relocated out here, and from Atlanta, Georgia, actually, which I went to pursue. And so one day I got up and I was like, okay, I've been kind of on pause. It's time to get back into the creative space.
Yes.
And so I just Googled away, and I'm like, let me see if there's any theaters. You know, I had done a previous play out here, and I was like, okay, it's time. You know, you get the itch and the bug again. And so I was just like, it's time. And so I went to Googling away and found Tacoma Little Theatre. And not only did I find them, but I saw they had upcoming auditions, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect.
Meant to be.
Meant to be. Meant to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for you walking into a theater that you don't know the culture, the energy, the bones, the history, what were auditions and rehearsals like? Were you just looking around going, oh my gosh, who are these people?
Well, I was super excited. You know, I love meeting new people and just connecting with those, especially those in a creative space. And so I was looking forward to it, but it was really the webpage that got me too, and the way it just seemed to be such family oriented. An atmosphere, it was based on creating and love and growing and welcome to all. And that was the thing that drew me in. But when I got to the auditions, you know, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be kind of small, you know. It's a lot of people there.
Oh,
it was a lot.
yes.
So it was intense, but it was such an amazing energy because everyone was so supportive. Everyone was so just loving and welcoming, and we cheered everyone on. And so I was just like, okay, this is a great space. Like, I love this. And so that kind of spilled over into rehearsals where we're like a family. Like, we joke and we say the chemistry that you see, you're going to see when you come. It's so natural and so authentic. So it's been a really fun and really great experience.
Wow. Okay. I know why you're at TLT now because like attracts like. And
Yes.
you have that family love and that feeling of collaboration, not competition.
Yes.
Which is unique. And Tacoma Little Theater, they make the bar when it comes to that. It is family there. So let's give us a sneak peek of something from the show. And tell us about your character and what your character does, and then let it out, sister.
Okay, absolutely. So my character, the role I play is Kiki, of course. And she's an outspoken, stylish, just life of the party type of friend that tells it like it is. And so I saw this and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. You know, she's the one that says what you may think, but you don't have the guts or the boldness to say. That's Kiki, right? Just full of life, you know, just loving herself and loving the ones around her. So we'll go into it.
Okay, Kiki.
And then I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm a genius. I'm gorgeous. I'm amazing. I basically just fell in love with myself. And I treated myself the way I would want a man to treat me. Better, actually, than any man ever had treated me or frankly ever could. I bought myself presents all the time. That's all you guys get.
Yay! Brava! Oh my gosh. You slid into that character so effortlessly and then slid back into who you are. Well done, casting. Wow.
The 7 actors on stage are just delightful. They're wonderful humans to work with.
I can see that. So Chris, what's the next off the shelf, as we like to say?
We have our next off-the-shelf staged reading, and that is Thursday, April 27th at 7:30 p.m. It is The Trojan Women, directed by Ellen Peters.
Oh my gosh!
And written by Caroline Bird.
You should have braced me for this. I saw this in Ashland, and it was intense.
It's an intense script, and Ellen has put together a great group of actors to do that staged reading, so we hope that people join us for it. If you are a TLT season ticket holder, it's free. If not, it's $10, but it's a great evening of theater that you might not see otherwise.
Yes, absolutely. And let's talk about education, because it should say Tacoma Little Theater Education.
It is going bonkers right now. Summer camps are full already, which is crazy. We opened up the enrollments, and the next day they were both full.
Congratulations.
It was wild. Spring break classes start at the beginning of May, so if you're looking for some after school or homeschool options, we have those there, along with some adult improv classes and a few other great little goodies in there as well.
I love that. So tell us about your next season.
You got a sneak peek last time we were here. Before the next season, though, we have the Shawshank Redemption that opens at the beginning of June.
And this is where you and I say, if you have not seen this or you don't like animals, we don't want to know you.
Oh, Shawshank is going to be phenomenal. They started rehearsals this last week, and already the cast is clicking. It's going to be great. But the next season, we open with The Play That Goes Wrong, which is a hilarious comedy that's playing on stage in New York right now, and it was started in the West End of London. We have Stephen King's Misery on stage for the October season. We're bringing you a show that's never been done in the Tacoma area before because it's a newer musical. It's an adaptation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on our stage, which is going to be a blast. A Doll's House Part 2 is in January. Then we follow that up with another UWT partnership with Rent.
Oh my!
It's going to be great.
My energy went to you on that. Rent. Yeah.
Then we also have Almost Maine in the April slot, this time slot next year, and then we close out with From the Mississippi Delta. And the neat thing about it, the theme of the season is 7 new stories to tell, because all 7 shows are shows we have never done before, which is really hard after you've been around for 105 years.
Oh, I know.
To be able to find new pieces.
Well, yeah, it's hard to keep the wrinkles away. And, but TLT manages to do this beautifully. And I believe it's because you and your husband, you are in New York, I would say at least once a year, checking out new plays, if not maybe twice a year sometimes. And that's why I feel like it's like, wow, when you guys get back, we get to see maybe a year later something you saw. And I so appreciate, I mean, I know it's rough on those field trips going to New York like that,
tough.
but
It's tough.
someone's got to do it. Last 30 seconds, who do we need to thank?
We need to thank our number one, our supporters in our community that are still there
Yes.
coming out to shows. The great volunteers and cast who come and play with us on stage. Our board, our neighbors, our neighborhood.
Yes.
It's so many people make community theater happen. Our colleagues up the street at Tacoma Musical Playhouse and Lakewood Playhouse and
Love
Dukes Bay
them.
Theater. We are a family of people who get together and make theater happen in our area. So go out there and support all the theaters.
Yeah.
That's right, because we can never have too much theater.
Yes.
This world needs more creativity, more healing, more laughter, more deep conversations, and that's the essence of theater. So
Yes.
thank you. You, Missy, break a leg, and you keep doing the great work you're doing.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Tacoma Community House will be in the studio after a little bit of shuffling chairs. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.